What if I told you that everything you've been told about goal setting is actually wrong, and the way that you've been setting goals in terms of focusing too much on the outcome actually reduces the likelihood of you achieving that outcome? Which I know sounds very much like the film Inception, like a dream within a dream within a dream. Great film, by the way. But what if there's a much better and probably a much more simple way to be setting goals? Well, over the next 5 to 10 minutes, I'll be explaining that. But first, I want to talk to you about why I'm actually setting goals, or talking about setting goals in the first place. Well, over the last week or so, I've been feeling a little bit, I don't know if lost is really the right word, but a bit aimless, a bit directionless, as though I'm just drifting, just going through the motions. And I think a lot of that is because I've got no concrete goals that I'm working towards at the minute. Right now, I am on week 2 of my 4-week mini cup, but other than that, I've got no specific goals that I'm aiming for, no specific goals with business, no specific goals with training, or any of that kind of stuff, which is a little bit weird for me because usually I have got those kinds of goals. I've got a clear endpoint that I'm trying to work towards, and that keeps me pretty driven, keeps me pretty focused, keeps me pretty motivated. But other than this 4-week mini cup, I've not really had that. And yeah, I found myself drifting a little bit, lacking a bit of energy this week and not having the same focus that I'm used to. So I was like, right, you know what? At the weekend, so now it's currently Saturday, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to set some goals, and I'm going to come up with an action plan of how I'm going to work towards those goals. And then as I was doing that, I was thinking, actually, the way I go about setting goals is probably a little bit different to what most people are used to. And it's actually the way that I coach clients for it. So I thought this would make a pretty good YouTube video. So here we are. The traditional way of setting goals is to set outcome-based goals, so the end destination that we want to reach. And we're told that they need to be SMART goals, so specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. And the good thing about setting those kinds of goals is, like I say, they set the end destination that we want to reach, and they give us a sense of focus on that end destination. And like I say, that is something that I've been lacking. So setting goals from that point of view is actually good because it sets the endpoint, it increases focus, it increases drive, increases motivation, and all that kind of stuff. The problem is people stop there and then they don't set the other kind of goal that I'm going to speak about in a second, which is actually the thing that moves you forwards towards that end destination. And the problem is everyone has the same goals. Like James Clear speaks about this in the book Atomic Habits, a great book. You should read it if you've not read it. But he speaks about the fact that everyone has the same goals. Like everyone wants to get fitter, everyone wants to get stronger, everyone wants to lose weight. Every Olympian goes to the Olympics with the goal of getting gold. No one goes and goes, oh, you know what, fancy getting silver. Like, no, everyone goes with the goal of getting gold. So goals aren't the differentiator between whether you achieve that goal or not, or at least outcome-based goals. Like you can write the goal down, but it does nothing to actually get you towards that goal. So yeah, when you are setting goals, definitely set an outcome-based goal. Like that is a good thing. And it's definitely better to set a SMART outcome-based goal than a general outcome-based goal. Like it's much better to say, I want to lose 4 kilograms over the next 8 weeks, so I'm going to focus on losing ½ kilogram a week for the next 8 weeks, rather than I want to lose a bit of weight. Because when it comes to fat loss specifically, in this context, you want to be setting a deadline to actually put the work in to get the result that you want in the first place. So yeah, setting SMART goals in terms of outcome-based goals are better. But you want to take that a step further. Once you set that outcome-based goal, you then want to break that down into a process-based goal. And your process-based goals are the little things that you're going to do day in and day out to actually get you closer to that outcome-based goal. So let's take that weight loss goal as an example. We've got that 4 kilograms over 8 weeks. What we would then need to do is figure out what we need to do on a day-by-day basis to achieve that goal. So we would break that goal down into calories, protein, steps. Training kind of links in with fat loss, but we train to get fitter and stronger, not really to lose weight. But we can include that as part of that. So it could be training 3 times a week, certain amount of calories per day or per week, certain amount of protein per day, and a certain amount of steps per day. They would be your process-based goals. Now, a really good analogy to think about is to see that outcome-based goal as setting the end destination on Google Maps, and then see the process-based goals as the act of actually driving the car. So pushing the accelerator, changing gear, put the indicators on for most people. And they are the things that actually get you moving forwards. It's not sitting down and setting the end destination in Google Maps that gets you moving forwards. It's the act of focusing on actually driving the car that gets you moving forwards. But the problem is people are focused way too much on the outcomes and not enough on the processes. You're focused on the weight that you want to lose, you're focused on how you want to look, you're focused on how you want to feel, but you're not focused enough on what you need to do every single day. And the thing is, we've not really got that much control over those end outcomes anyway, but we've got full control over the effort that we're putting in every single day. And if you can focus on what you can control and let go of what you can't, not just in terms of fitness or goal setting or fat loss, but just life in general, you're going to have a much better life. And this is why I love process-based goals, because all the stuff that I just spoke about, hitting your calories, hitting your protein, hitting your steps, that stuff is simple. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's definitely not complicated. And when you can break those big outcome-based goals down into those process-based goals, they become so much less overwhelming. And this literally plays into what I was saying in the last video. And I'll say it again, and I'll probably say it again and again until it literally drills into someone's head. Little hinges swing big doors. Those little processes that I've just spoke about, on their own, they won't make that much of a difference. But when they stack up over days, weeks, and months, they will get you to the end destination that you want to get to. Like me being out here right now is me committing to various different processes. Actually, one, it's committing to a YouTube video, and I've told myself that I want to commit to one YouTube video a week, but it's also me getting out and hitting my steps. And these two things on their own probably won't make that much of a difference to my goals. Like me hitting my steps today isn't going to make that much of a difference to my fat loss. Me creating this YouTube video today isn't going to make that much of a difference to my business. But when I do these things day after day, week after week, month after month, they will stack up to make a big difference. So next time you sit down to set yourself an outcome-based goal, one, yeah, make it smart, but also make sure you break it down into a set of process-based goals as well, because they are the things that really matter. And I'm going to leave you with one last quote, which is from that book that I referenced earlier, Atomic Habits by James Clear. Again, go read it if you've not read it, but your commitment to the process is what defines your progress. So yeah, go put that on like an Instagram post or something.